Hi everyone, welcome to Naturally Immune for Life. I hope you're all doing well. I thank you for your time today on this wintry January day. And this brings to mind that I'm celebrating probably 13 months at least using my vibration platform. And since we covered last week stem cells and stem cell formation, I was a little bit curious since I know that vibration platforms help in bone formation. I was wondering if there was a connection to stem cell formation, and it turns out there is a connection. And there's also an interesting connection in how that switch, how you can turn off that switch in your stem cells and bone marrow to producing bone instead of fat, meaning adipose fat, um, a term used generally to describe the health implications of obesity, not just fat, but fat in where it ends up residing and how that can affect things like your metabolic health. So, personal anecdote. I love my vibration platform. I noticed within, I don't know, 4 months, 6 months, that it made my legs more shapely. And I don't know if it actually increased muscles, but my legs began to look more shapely the longer I used it. And uh, after a longer period of time, I have been losing weight without any real effort. Um, Although I do try to watch my sugar and keep it under 25 grams a day. And I do have some go to snacks and cookies and things like that, where I know that if I eat only this amount per day, I will be keeping under that number. With Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that, I didn't really pay that much attention to my daily routine being the holidays, but I noticed I'm still losing weight. And um, when you're a person who often gets stuck, as I had been, in a certain weight, and the scale doesn't really, you'll reach a plateau, and then you really don't go any further. I was actually surprised to learn this, and maybe that's the reason I'm losing weight. That the longer I use the vibration platform, the more benefits I see, the more time that goes by. Well, because I did know that I would not see any improvements in bone health or anything like that for at least 6 months. And I can't judge that anyway. That would take some testing to do, but I have noticed those two things. And I will say I don't exactly know that there's a correlation there, but this is just a personal interest and a surprising finding that I thought I would share with you, especially since last week we did speak specifically about stem cell formation and how gut health affects stem cell health and bone marrow health and stem cell formation. So, how vibration platforms may support bone marrow and stem cell health. Bone health is often discussed in terms of calcium intake and bone mineral density, but what happens inside the bone marrow is just as important. The bone marrow is home to mesenchymal stem cells, which play a central role in maintaining strong, resilient bones. These stem cells can develop into either bone-forming cells, osteoblasts, or fat cells, adipocytes. As we age, this balance often shifts toward fat formation, contributing to weaker bones and increased fracture risk. Emerging research suggests that vibration platforms may help shift this balance back toward bone formation. The role of bone marrow stem cells in bone strength. BMCSs are responsible for replenishing osteoblasts throughout life. When these stem cells favor osteoblast development, bones remain dense and strong. When they instead become fat cells, marrow fat increases and bone formation declines. This process is commonly seen in aging, osteoporosis, sedentary lifestyles. Supporting the healthy differentiation of these stem cells is therefore a key target for maintaining long-term skeletal health. How mechanical vibration influences stem cell behavior. Bone marrow stem cells are highly responsive to physical forces. Vibration platforms deliver low magnitude, high frequency mechanical signals that stimulate cells through a process known as mechanotransduction. This allows stem cells to convert mechanical input into biological signals that affect gene expression and cell fate. Laboratory studies show that vibration increases markers of bone formation, including alkaline phosphatase activity and calcium mineralization. It also boosts the expression of genes associated with osteoblast development, such as RUNX2 and collagen type 1. These changes indicate that vibration encourages stem cells to move toward a bone-building pathway. If I remember, RUNX2 is a very ancient gene expression, and that's what differentiates you from apes. Oh, and it also shows you were never an ape. So if I get pushback for that, whatever. Key signaling pathways activated by vibration. One important pathway involved in this response is the P38MAPK signaling pathway. This pathway helps cells respond to mechanical stress and plays a major role in directing stem cell differentiation. Studies have demonstrated that vibration activates P38MAPK in these particular stem cells, leading to enhanced osteogenic activity. Another critical pathway influenced by vibration is WNT beta-catenin signaling. This pathway strongly promotes bone formation while inhibiting fat cell development. Increased WNT signaling helps maintain a bone-friendly environment in the marrow and supports long-term skeletal integrity. Reducing bone marrow fat, an often overlooked benefit. Beyond stimulating bone formation, vibration also appears to reduce the tendency of these stem cells to become fat cells. Research shows that vibration suppresses adipogenic genes such as PPARY, which are responsible for fat cell development. This is especially important because increased marrow fat is closely linked to bone fragility and metabolic aging. By limiting fat accumulation in the marrow, vibration helps preserve a healthier stem cell environment. And again, adiposity refers to the state or condition of having excess body fat or obesity, but often used in clinical context to describe the degree of fat accumulation and its health impact rather than just weight. Evidence from animal and human studies. Animal studies provide strong support for these cellular findings. In aging and disuse models, low magnitude vibration, improved bone mineral density, preserved bone structure, and maintained the osteogenic potential of bone marrow stem cells. Even during periods of reduced physical loading, vibration helped protect the bone forming capacity of the marrow. You might remember this from the vibration in the sheep studies, which is when I first heard about this particular effect. Human studies, including randomized trials and meta-analysis, suggest that whole body vibration may offer modest improvements in bone density, particularly in postmenopausal women and individuals at risk for bone loss. While vibration is not a replacement for nutrition or exercise, it appears to be a useful supportive strategy. Integrating vibration into a wellness-focused bone health strategy. For individuals focused on healthy aging, vibration platforms may complement traditional approaches such as resistance training, nutrition, adequate protein intake, vitamin D and calcium from whole fat mammal milk, magnesium, and bone supportive supplements like bovine colostrum. By targeting bone marrow stem cells directly, vibration offers a unique, non-pharmacological way to support skeletal health from the inside out. Conclusion. Research suggests that vibration platforms can positively influence bone marrow and stem cell development by encouraging particular stem cells to become bone-building osteoblasts rather than fat cells. Through well-studied mechanical signaling pathways, vibration supports bone density, reduces marrow fat, and helps preserve skeletal strength. While more research is ongoing, current evidence supports vibration as a promising wellness tool for long-term bone health. And I'd also just like to say, in addition to all of that, since it is the height of winter here, it becomes very difficult to walk or exercise, especially for older people. And I'm including myself in that category. Where I live, the roads often don't get plowed right away, not living on a main street. They're often slippery, and it just makes it too dicey to go out walking after a snowstorm or ice/snowstorm. There have been several times when I did venture out and then just happened to hit an ice patch on the sidewalk while walking our dog and almost fell. And just at my age, I don't really want to end up with a broken leg or a broken hip or anything like that. So, but I still want to get enough exercise in the winter. So, I really like my vibration platform just for that alone. I bought it for a certain reason. I was having some adductor muscle problems, and it turns out that had more to do with my desk chair than um, probably anything else. Again, what's that word? Ergonomics, is that the right word? Pay attention to that because sitting at a desk is very detrimental, especially when you don't have things at the height they're supposed to be. So I've got, got a higher chair, and I've done some exercises that I've seen on YouTube specifically for adductor muscles, and I'm happy to say they are feeling much better. But my vibration platform was helping nonetheless because it increases blood flow. So, along with the benefits to my bone health, keeping me active when I can't walk, um, possibly helping my bone health and in turn helping me lose weight, and making my legs more shapely. These are things that I've noticed, and they also help keep your lymph flowing properly, and they have many other benefits. It depends on what program mode you set your vibration platform to, which you would have to check with each manufacturer to determine that, and which one you would possibly like to purchase in particular. But for elderly and sedentary, and now for overweight people, I think if the evidence continues to support the reason why it might help reduce particular types of fat especially in the marrow, I think that would be an extra benefit to having a vibration platform. And I certainly found it interesting. So, okay, everyone, thanks so much for your time, and I hope you found this helpful and useful. I only um, I only speak of things that I have personally found benefits from, and then I try to um, narrow all of those benefits down for you, and see if there is supporting evidence rather than just anecdotal. And it turns out in this instance there is, along with everything else on my site. So I may only talk about and use a few things, but they are definitely in the 20% range of the few things that are going to give you the most benefit for your buck. So, and your time. So, okay, everyone, thanks again for your time. I'll see you next time. Bye.